Greetings. Peter Albright here, Bible study facilitator for Accessible Fellowship. We are looking at our current Salt and Light curriculum. First of all, a personal message to Flory. Flory, your name came through, but not a good email address. If you would like to contact us, please send an email to the address in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Accessible Fellowship was born in the early days of COVID. We quickly realized that there were many different barriers that people experienced in trying to attend church. Our logo shows a wheelchair ramp leading up to a cross. We do have several groups meeting. One group, the Salt and Light group, meets on Sunday morning. We are currently studying a series entitled A Church Divided, written by Reta Halteman Finger. It has sparked very interesting discussions and questions. Another group meets on Wednesday evening for Bible study. We're just finishing the book of Proverbs and deciding what's going to be next. Inspired by two things. First of all, the contextual look at 1 Corinthians that the Salt and Light series leads us to, and also two podcasts from Anabaptist perspectives, wherein David Burko is interviewed and discusses the book of Romans. Inspired by David Burko, I am going to propose to the group that we study the book of Romans, but with an introduction from the Sermon on the Mount, the book of Acts, and the book of Galatians. Our Monday morning group meets and discusses current events. There's some overlap among the three. Almost nobody attends all three. Last week we discussed lawsuits. And I was very encouraged by discussion before, during, and after the class. It made me realize that people are listening to these classes and applying them to their own lives. This week, Sunday, Easter Sunday, April 20th, we will be talking about marriage, sexuality, and singleness. The scripture is taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 7. And the stated purpose is to discern Paul's views on marriage, sexuality, and singleness in the context of ancient pagan Corinth, and to appropriately apply them to our Christian lives. That is from Reta Halteman Finger, page 44. Now, you know that many sermons have been preached on this text, 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I have to say that many of them, in retrospect, were what we might call proof texts. The texts taken out of context slightly, often to postulate rules of living, with the problem not so much that the conclusion is wrong, but that the conclusion misses the big picture. Besides marriage, sexuality, and singleness, our text also applies very directly to injustice, slavery, and addiction. It seems almost inevitable that when we start studying the Bible with good intentions, they get sidetracked by detail. Discussion about using Scripture to create guidelines may be good for the current time, but those guidelines, if institutionalized, may lose some of their relevance in the future. Discussion about using Scriptures to create guidelines may be valuable for the present, but if we institutionalize and memorialize those guidelines, they might lose relevance in the future. Isn't that really why Jesus chastised the Pharisees? They took the law and they used the law to create rigid rules that no longer helped people to live righteously or find God. The power of Scripture is not that it gives us a platform for making rules. The power of Scripture is that the truths therein help us to live righteously in this ever-changing world in which we live. These words are given by God, who does not change, and gave them to us from the beginning of the world. Incidentally, the words are quoted from a song entitled "We Have All the Time in the World." It's a James Bond theme song. The lyrics are by Hal David and the music by John Barry. Join me this week in praying for God's wisdom in knowing the best way for us to respond to injustice of all sorts. Go in peace.